Hello, everyone. I think
Hello.
we're live again. We keep
are.
doing this, don't
We do.
It's been good. I've enjoyed it. And thank you again for coming, Tanys. You're more than the tech person today. You're our special guest, but you're also one of our pilots. And someone's just sitting down. You can come over. Yeah. Yeah, just don't knock the table there. Okay. So what have we got in store today? We're going to talk about your various skills and practices and healing and Twillow and Beyond Being Human pilots and shows coming up and all sorts of different things.
Yeah, we're just going to run through a whole thing. All sorts of different stuff is going to come up. I am going to do a little bit of a healing thing for those in the audience today so that you can feel the difference between the 3 different energies that I do, the energies that I use. Actually, there's 4, so we'll do 4 different ones. And and just chat. So why don't you go ahead and give an overview of the pilots, Michael, and I'll give you that screen for now, and then we'll come back.
All righty, here we go. So you've got my screen, you can share that. Beautiful. Okay. So Beyond Being Human has grown quite a bit over the last few years. Tanys is one of our latest pilots, and generally the pilots are now in the position of doing regular shows, and we're about to start very specifically with the Patreon launch on October 26th. And from that point on, we'll be doing 8 of us presenters will be doing a show a month. And so that equals 2 shows a week. So we'll be covering a whole lot of different topics. It's quite exciting, and it's been coming for a long time. I've wanted to get that sort of frequency happening for a while. And on the website, though, that you're looking at, this is the Connect tab on the top menu. This page is the introduction to everybody who's involved. And it's split up into the pilots, which we can go to that page and have a look at that. So that's the intro. We've got our producers of the documentary, which is, the longer term plan of everything that's going to be coming forward. And all of the videos and conversations, panel discussions are forming research that goes into the documentary eventually. And so these are the list of pilots right now: Diane Broussard, Tanys, Simon Deacon, Carolina Grace, Stone Hobbit, myself even, which is an unusual thing because I've held off from actually being on screen very much at all. And also Marty Rawson and Freya Savitri. You may have seen her in the first live that we did on Harmony Festival. And when you click on either the show gateways here, and this is where all of the different shows are going to have a page to themselves, you'll get the index of what's been going on and the way to actually access the videos there. And sometimes they're going to have 30-minute or 20 to 30-minute preview versions, but members who are Patreon members or website members will get the full video. And we make that sort of fairly clear as you go through. But right now, a lot of it is all open. I wanted to give a lot of preview videos to show what we're doing and the style and the kind of people we're getting along. And so just popping back to the Connect tab, we've also got a number of other pages that'll be starting to be populated. One of the main ones for the work that we do as podcasters or YouTube people or whatever is this online media kind of section. and you can go there and explore what other people are doing. And it's by no means complete. There's many, many, many people doing all sorts of different things. And, it's growing. Anyway, that's also something else that's available on the Connect tab. But one of the things too that I wanted to bring up today is the charities. And we haven't really focused on this very much, but I would like to start putting aside some money, and maybe every 3 months or 6 months or a year, depending on how it goes, I'll be sending out donations to a number of different groups. And I don't know exactly what percentage. We'll sort of see how well Patreon gets patronized. But I'm very passionate to do a little bit of that and encourage other people. All of the links of the particular charities that we're supporting right now are there, and you can just go and donate yourself. And that's what I've sort of hoped for in the past. I haven't checked back in recently to see how that's going with them. And maybe they don't even know where the donations come from. Anyway, I'll leave that aside for the moment. Just popping back to our pilots. This page needs more work, and I'll be expanding on it, but you can see the little profiles here, and then you can click on the main profile for each person, where there's lots of information and sometimes even articles, and lots and lots of interesting stuff. And it's going to be growing as time goes on. And I'll just go to Tanys's right now. And there she is in psychedelic glory. And all her links are there. So it's a nice, easy place to just get a quick overview and be able to tune into all of the things she's doing on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and her Twillow Lifestyle Community. I might pass back to you now, Tanys, because I've gone on for way too long.
Well, thank you. I'll go ahead and share my screen and go through a few things, because I do want to talk a little bit about some of the projects that I'm working on. So I'll go ahead and take you off, Michael. All right. So I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. I am the founder, and basically I do a whole bunch of different projects. So I've got Twillow Lifestyle Community, which is my healing practice, where I do energy healing, channeling. I do Celtic Shamanic High Priestess work. So I'm an energy healer, and I do basically 4 different energy modalities. So that's kind of what we're going to talk a bit about in a few minutes. So I do Reiki, I do Aqualead, I do Nokti, and I do Sekmet. And so those are the ones that we're going to sort of talk about. And I'm going to actually do some healing work in a few minutes so that you get a little feel of the difference between them, because there is a nuance of the characteristics of the energy as they come through. So I do energy healing, I do psychic surgery, I do ceremonial healing and ceremonies, house clearings, all of that kind of energy stuff in the practice. I also have the Twillow Lifestyle Academy, where I'm joined by 8 other teachers, and we do all sorts of training. It's online with a live teacher for the most part, and that's basically where we do everything from energy healing modalities to metaphysics, stress management, personal development, all of that kind of stuff. So that's the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. I'm also a galactic ambassador, and so I'm a galactic ambassador with the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact, and I do a podcast with them called Bridge to the Galaxy, but I think it would be nice to show you their website as well, so let's do that. I'm just going to pull that up. There, that would be the wrong one. Hold on. There we go. So you can see here we have a conference coming up. So please, check that out. It's free or by donation. We do run on donations. So that would be the thing. It's on November 29th and it's online. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. So please check that out. So the basically the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact is, well, let's just look at the mission, shall we? There we go. So it's an international network of diplomats, politicians, government officials, experts in extraterrestrial affairs, and interested people with shared goal of welcoming extraterrestrial civilizations to establish diplomatic missions on our planet. So basically what we're doing with that is that we're trying to create more awareness to get political support, because we are taking some stuff to the UN to make sure that we can get some diplomatic talks going when the ETs do decide to come down. We also have enough money to build an embassy to have those on nonpartisan land so that we can actually, house them in a way that is safe for all. Okay, so that's kind of that mission. The other one that I'll bring forward is this is my website with the Twillow Lifestyle Community. You'll see there we have resources. So I do have an online crystal directory here. I have events and classes there. We have a membership site. There's the Academy, services, etc. Okay, so twillowlifestyle.ca. So I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I just thought I would introduce those because that's part of who I am. And so let's get into talking about Reiki. So Reiki was I always joke about it being my gateway drug. It was how I got started in all of this. It's been over a decade now that I've been doing that. And I started because I was really struggling with burnout. And I went for my first Reiki session. And when I had my session, I had never felt so good. So I decided, okay, I need to learn how to do this. So I started taking classes. And I took my time because I was working full time and I was a mom and all that stuff. So then I ended up having 2 burnouts and used all my skills and started my own business. So I actually am an HR consultant as well. I started that one first, then I started the community after that. So as I was going through all my training, I got my Reiki master. I then took a healing modality called Aqualead, which actually is, it's a healing modality. It's Andromedan energy, and it's connected to the elementals. So it's very grounding, and it heals the water within the body. So as we know, we're 80% water. And so healing that water in the body is super important for our well-being. The other thing that's cool about Aqualead is that it can also help to heal the environment. So we can heal the lakes and bodies of water as well in the world. So this is a great one that was downloaded by Sabine Blais a few years ago. Okay. We all know Reiki, right? Reiki was downloaded by Yasui back in I believe the early 30s. And so on Mount Fujiyama in Japan. So it's a Japanese healing modality. Then we look at Nokti. So Nokti was a modality that was downloaded to me in 2019. And I woke up one morning, my crown chakra was all tender and I didn't know why. And then through experimenting and all of that, and speaking to the guides and speaking to another angel communicator, it turns out that it is a Pleiadian energy and it heals grief and trauma on a cellular level. Okay, so what it does is it goes in and it reprograms the vibration of the cytoplasm within the cells. So that's what Nokti does. So that's pretty cool. I recently have taken another one called Sekmet, and it's an old Egyptian healing. And so that's a slightly different characteristic as well. So what you'll notice between the different energies is that the qualities of the energy are slightly different. So each person, all of you are going to experience this in a different way because we all experience energy differently. Some people are not going to feel it because you're just not sensitive to it. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong. Everything is good, okay? What I'm going to do is send it out to all who are willing to accept and receive. That is my intention. And if not, then please pass it on to someone who is. So that'll be the intention that I send out with this. So what I'd like you to notice when we go through this is I'd like you to close your eyes and just feel the space that's around you, that auric space, okay? So if you guys are new to energy, we have an energy system, right, which is comprised of vortexes of energy that go down a central column in the body. So when we have this central column running well and all of the chakras are doing well, then we feel well. It affects emotional, physical, mental, all of those things, okay? So we want to make sure that our energy system is running well. I always sort of compare the chakra system to the circulatory system. So the chakras would be like your heart, okay? And then we have also meridians, which are channels of energy that come off the chakra center. Those would be like your veins and arteries coming off of the heart, okay? So that's how we move energy around the system. The vortexes move the energy, the meridians take it to the rest of the body. So just a little overview of the energy system as we go through this. So we also have that. We all vibrate. The earth vibrates. We vibrate on it. We create an electromagnetic field around us. People often feel or often know about the term your aura, okay? So your aura is actually the electromagnetic field around you. So we have layers of our aura. We have our physical layer, which is about that far, okay? Then we have our mental emotional layer, which goes out about arm length. And then we have our spiritual layer, which actually goes out, you know, as far as like, it can go out as far as 500 feet. So when we get stress and stuff caught in our lives, we get dense pockets stuck in the system. And so what Reiki or all of these energy modalities do is they actually clear those dense pockets out of that so that the energy can smoothly run through the system, okay? So nuances of energy. Reiki, most people will experience it as a warm, comforting, like being wrapped in a warm blanket, okay? Aqualead, people will feel like it's waves coming down them. With Nokti, it's more kinetic in how it feels. Almost feels like someone's doing this really, really lightly around your body, okay? And Sekmet is just adds energy to all of that. It's like it's a little bit more intense maybe than Reiki, but not as kinetic and stuff as the others. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to give some energy healing, and we will see if you can tell the difference. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel that aura space that's around you. Okay. So we'll just close our eyes. And I'm going to call in Reiki first. And I'm going to do, maybe 30 seconds for each one of these so you get a little bit of a feel. 30 seconds to a minute for each. So let's activate our Reiki. And just feel into this, okay? Here it comes. So sending out to anyone who is open and willing to receive. Those who are not, please send it to people that are, particularly in our audience. So this is Reiki. Okay, so just noticing how that feels. Notice any changes in the texture of the air around you or the temperature. It's another indication. Or if you're very visual, you may see a color as you do these things as well. Okay, because we all have our own gifts, our own ways of experiencing energy. Okay. So now I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to Aqualead. So this you may feel as wavy. This is what many people have experienced as wavy or cooler energy. Okay. So Aqualead. Here we go. So just noticing any differences from with the Reiki. So Aqualead, in my experience, has been very good for inflammation. You tend to be able to like flush the inflammation through. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to change to Nokti. So Nokti is a different energy again, and let's see what you feel when you feel the difference. Okay. Again, sending it out to all who wish to receive. Nokti. Okay. Okay, so let us know how you felt with that, whether there was a difference. And the last one, Sekmet. This is the Egyptian one related to the goddess Sekmet. Okay, here we go. Again, just noticing the different qualities or the space around you, whether there's differences in the texture of the air or the temperature, or whether you see it differently. Or even noticing how you feel in your body. Are you noticing different areas for each of them? Different areas being highlighted. So let us know in the comments, what were you feeling? Was there a change for you? We had a few comments like saw light, was very warm for Reiki. And then for Aqualead, felt like a wave of energy. So beautiful. Let us know in the comments what you felt during the rest of it as well. Okay. So let's find out what Michael has to say. What did you find, Michael?
I, funnily enough, didn't really feel too much in terms of the Reiki one.
Mm-hmm.
But the next one, what's that called again?
Aqualead.
Aqualead.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I felt more waves, and it actually made me reflect when I was choosing the graphic for the event. You probably remember how it's got all these waves and whatever, and it
Mm-hmm.
sort of felt like that.
Yep. Yep.
And interesting enough, in Sekmet, I didn't so much feel energy, but I suddenly became much more aware of everything in the environment. Like all the birds started really becoming loud, and just awareness of the atmosphere generally. And that was interesting.
Awesome. So that was the last one. Did you feel anything with the Nokti, the one in between?
Not that much more. It was sort of similar to Reiki, I guess. Yeah.
Similar to Reiki? Okay, cool.
Hmm.
So we have a user that said, I feel my hands full of energy and very strong with the Nokti. So, and the Egyptian felt very light. Awesome. That's great. Thank you for sharing. So the other piece that I do a lot of is work with the Ho'oponopono. So,
Which we did together, and I really enjoyed that. And I'll disappear. You can carry on with that.
All right, let's do that. So the Ho'oponopono is a wonderful healing technique that we use, and it's very easy to use. I use a little different from what the traditional. It's actually a healing modality that comes from the Huna tradition. And what I do is I use slightly different wording for it. And so it's basically 4 phrases that we use in succession. So the way to do this, though, at least the method that I use with my clients, is that you think about somebody that you might be having a difficult time with. Okay. So first, and then you repeat the phrases while you picture their face. But first, I want you to be able to see exactly where you're holding that energy. Because when we're having a difficult time with somebody, we've got some sort of an energy density, usually stuck in our aura or in our body from the difficult time. Stress and anxiety and all of that stuff creates that. So what I'd like to do first is take you into a happy place, relax all your muscles, and then we're going to picture the person that you want to picture. Okay, so just think about who you're going to picture right now before we get all relaxed. Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to close your eyes. I'd like you to take 3 big deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, relaxing each of the muscles a little bit more with each big breath. While you're doing that, I'd like you to picture yourself in a very safe, relaxed space. So like your happy place. It could be different for everybody. Just relaxing the muscles. Okay. Now I'd like you to do a body scan. And this is just with your thoughts. Think about each part of your body as you run down either top to bottom or bottom to top, noticing any tension that you might be feeling. And I want you to take a deep breath, send energy to that area to release the tension. So we want to be totally relaxed. Now this is your baseline. Okay. Now I want you to think about that person that you decided to use. I want you to picture their face. Okay. Now I invite you to do another body scan. Where are you feeling tension now that you weren't feeling before? Just notice. Okay. Now we're going to just repeat some phrases that will help you to release that energy. All right? I want you to continue to picture the person's face and just repeat after me, please. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. So that would be considered a set of 3. I want you to continue to picture their face, and we're going to do 2 more sets of 3. Picturing their face, please. Repeating after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. Last set. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. Just take a deep breath now, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And still picturing the person's face, I'd like you to feel into your body, do another body scan, and see if there's any change in how it feels. Okay. So you can continue that with the person until there is less. So basically you would hopefully be feeling a little bit less tension there, if not have it gone. And that's the whole thing. We continue to work through that, to work out that energy. That's a way of releasing that. Awesome. We have one user that says, yes, the pain went away. Wonderful. So you've cleared that dense pocket that you had stuck there. That's awesome. Michael?
Yeah.
What was your experience?
Well, this time I felt I wanted to go a lot slower and really kind of merge in, because I actually started going into like a deep meditation through the whole thing. And I'm sitting here with a couple of other people. I don't know if you want to chime in. No, okay.
No? Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a really good way of taking you deep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very effective. I've used it myself as well on a lot of different clearing. So yeah, it's good to try. It's the way to work through some of the shadow stuff that we need to work on. So that's a big overview about what I do in terms of that, the energy healing and how that can benefit. So really what we want to do is keep our vibration between 63 and 78 megahertz. So when we have a negative thought, it brings that down by 12. We have a positive thought, it brings it up by 10. We do meditation, it brings it up by 25. And so to give you an idea, when we're down in around the 50s, we start to get colds and flus and we feel run down. In the 40s, we're more susceptible to more serious things. Doesn't mean you're going to, but you're more susceptible to things like cancer, Epstein-Barr, those kinds of things. So we want to keep it up in that higher frequency. Because it's so variable, depending on our thoughts, we do this all day, right? But we want to do this instead of this. That's all we want to do. So.
And I find playing music always helps. Like just raise the vibration. Yeah.
Love the solfeggio stuff. It's great for that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Did you want to add anything else, Michael, or do you have any questions for me or anything like that?
Well, let's discuss further. Maybe you've even got some guests lined up for the shows coming up with Patreon.
We have the first one. So basically with the Patreon, we were talking about doing, would you like to bring up the explorations page on the website? Oh, we can't hear you now.
It's not quite ready yet.
Oh, no, the explorations page that has all the topics. So the one that has the topics on it. No? Okay. Well, let's just talk about the topics we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So ETs is one of them. And so the first guest that we have is... Yes, that one.
Okay, one sec.
So we're going to talk about ETs on the show. So we're going to go like topic by topic is what we're going to do. So it's ready there. There we go. So we've got a bunch of topics. So the reason we called the show Explorations is because we're going to explore these different topics and step into them with different guests. So you see there, the first one is ET visitors. So we have Sylvain Rochon, who's going to be coming on from the Alliance to talk about their mission and involvement with ETs. Then we have angels, which I don't know that have we chosen a person for that yet? I'm not sure, Michael.
Well, I think probably having Freya Savitri, who was on our last or our first live with Harmony Festival. She's had quite a lot of experiences, and I'm about to release that video. I'm busy editing it at the moment, so you'll be able to catch up. And originally, she was part of the Peace Angels, the costume designer,
which was beautiful.
Quite involved in the formation of what the ceremony part was. It was very, very interesting. And I mean, Star Children, you're going to come up to. I'm actually going to ask Mary Rodwell to see whether she'd like to come on and update us, because she's been working away at this for decades.
Awesome.
And hybrids, I'm not sure about yet. Maybe you know someone who'd like to do that.
We'll look at that. And if the audience has any suggestions as well, we're open to that. And I mean, contact experiencers. We have lots of people that have had contact, people like Kevin Briggs maybe, or people that I've had. These are people I've had actually on Bridge to the Galaxy. So they would be great people as well. Or I'm sure there's others as well. I think we have pilots. Do we not have pilots or
Preston Dennett is probably one of the leading authors, and he's in the flight crew.
Beautiful.
And it would be great to talk with him specifically about contact experiences, because he's more or less specialized in that. He's written about a whole range of different things to do with that. But yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of people with contact experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think our list is certainly not to the finalized space yet. No. But this is a list of the different topics that we'll be looking at.
And various different people have listed in the group of people doing stuff on Patreon. We'll probably share a lot of this sort of thing depending on timing and who's available and this, that, and the other. But paranormal, Andrea Perron, I might invite her back in, but also one of our flight crew, Glenda Dawson. She does a lot with the paranormal space.
So a lot of these I have some experience with as well, which is part of why I've jumped in to do each of these. So like the ET visitors, I've had ETs come. I've had a healing experience with ETs. The angels, I work with them regularly. Star children, you know what? They're lovely. Hybrids, it depends on which hybrid you're talking about. I do have, my soul is a hybrid. So my soul DNA is actually a hybrid. I'm part Pleiadian, part angelic. That's where the energy of the soul comes from. So if we're talking hybrid like that, that's part of my soul DNA. And of course, contact. Paranormal, I am a medium as well. And so I do tend to chat with the ghosts sometimes. And shamanism, I'm Celtic shaman. So walk-ins is not something I have experience with. So I'm anxious to do the interview for that.
Yeah, with shamanism, one of our flight crew is Kim Parker. And she did a panel amongst a few different people working in the shamanism field. And also Diane Broussard is another one of the pilots. And she went through, I think it was 4 years, maybe more, with Lynn Andrews.
Nice.
And yeah, there's a whole big group of all of that. And shamanism is very interesting because it starts bringing in all of the old indigenous knowledge. And we want to explore quite a bit of that as well.
Well, and I think the nuances between the different shaman as well. So, you know, like your North American shaman might be different from your Peruvian shaman, would be different from your Australian or New Zealand shaman. You know, all of the nuances in how they travel. I mean, it's all dimensional traveling and healing and journey work and soul retrieval and that sort of thing. But the way that each group goes about it is different and unique.
Indeed. And walk-ins, probably Reverend Debbie Grace, and she's done a course that's available on Beyond Being Human and is about to add to that course. But she's had sort of lots of instances of near-death experiences as well as walk-in kind of basis.
Awesome. Yeah. I'd love to hear about her experiences. And I think that's why we decided to start this or to do that particular show, is really because there is so much breadth of knowledge and experience, and people's stories are fascinating. People are fascinating. And so delving into stories has always been a joy for me. So I'm really looking forward to moving forward with that.
Yeah, and the story behind how these particular topics came about too was sort of after the angelic encounter that I had several years ago. Over time, a number of these topics became prominent and it sort of like nagged at me a little bit. It's like, okay, well, pay attention to this. And as I tuned into it, different people would be introduced to me. I'd be watching different videos, and then someone else would pop up along the same lines. It's like, okay, you know, I got it. Yeah, I mean, spiritual awakening, we've got many people in the flight crew, obviously, that focus on exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
And also to mention Cat Divine and Melissa Sophia Joy and people like that are very immersed in all of that, as are many others. Yeah,
That's a pretty broad topic, the dimensions and stuff.
very.
I think we all
And
kind of touch on that in our own ways, for sure.
indeed, as well as Freya. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was
she's
talking
got a
about
lot.
that on her show.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And ecology, I'm actually trying to contact a few people now to be more or less the champion of that particular topic. It's a tricky one because it's sort of not quite in the vein of everything else, but
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely important. And as you see, Gaia is our logo.
Yeah.
So, here we are on the planet and everything relates to the planet, even if we want to ignore it or not. And
Exactly.
the care for the planet is a primary concern right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Ascension, what have you got for Ascension?
Well, I mean, Ascension essentially is like dimensions. We all kind of are on that ascension track. We can certainly, there's all sorts of people that specialize in that. So I think that, any kind of healing is all working towards our ascension and how we're going to raise the vibration of the earth. And, maybe having somebody on that can talk to us a little bit about even the Schumann resonance and some of that kind of work as well would be fascinating to bring somebody in like that, because it's all tied in, right? Somebody who can speak about maybe the space weather and the Schumann resonance and how that's affecting our ascension in terms of vibrational frequencies and stuff. I think that would be fascinating, a fascinating way to sort of round out that whole discussion around
Indeed.
awakening and stuff.
As I said in the last live with Simon about in space, nobody can hear you scream, and
Mm-hmm.
changing that to anywhere you are, everyone and everything can feel your love.
Exactly. And I think
And
that's super important too, right?
yeah, totally. And consciousness. I would like to invite Grant Cameron. Grant, if you're watching, give me a call. And you're in Canada, so is Grant.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, consciousness is the broadest topic,
Yeah.
with lots and lots of different elements in it. But the inspiration I've been getting recently, I think I might have mentioned last time too, is the currency in the world right now is based on fear, like our emotional kind of thing. We're all reacting to what's going on with the wars and this, that, and the other, and climate change and hunger and all sorts of different things. And it's a very kind of traumatic time that we're moving, and it seems like it's rising. And I think we have to find many, many different ways to counter that and counteract the effects of fear. And so Michael Rhodes springs to mind there too. I mean, his saying is choose love. And Simon, who we did the last live with, interviewed Michael Rhodes. Let me find that page, one sec.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, love is, one of the love and joy are the highest frequencies. So when we can tap into that energy, that's going. Shall we put this on?
Yeah. So I'm going to try playing this video from here. Let's see if this works.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it will. It's working on mine, but it's not on yours. Okay, not to worry.
Oh, I thought it was. It was moving.
It began and then it stopped.
Oh,
but you might try it. So if you just go to beyondbeinghuman.org/Michael-Rhodes, and I'll stop sharing.
Michael / Rhodes or dash?
Dash.
And it's Rhodes.
/ Michael - Rhodes.
RHO?
No.
R.
Let me give you the link. One sec. Lost the computer.
There we are.
And it is 11 minutes, but we don't have to play the whole thing. But Michael at the moment is having his own challenges with cancer. And so everyone here can send him a burst of love and healing as well. And down the bottom of the page, this is why I wanted to bring up the page, you'll see the interview that Carolina Grace did. She's another one of our pilots. And she's based in the UK. Yeah, that one there. But also a little bit further up is the Michael Rhodes with Simon Deacon. A little bit further. Yeah, that's it there. Yeah.
There we go.
So those are available on that page. Yeah.
Awesome. So take a look, guys. Go ahead and do that. And what we'll do is I will put that in here. So that you can, it's in the comments there if you want to follow that.
Yeah.
And let's go back up here and see if we can get this to play.
That'd be good. And go full screen if you can.
There we go.
It's already full on in the shops, and this is like 6 weeks to go. And it sort of makes you wonder, is there anything beyond Christmas? And of course there is. I mean, there has to be. Heaven help us otherwise. And so just for a few minutes, I'd like to talk about beyond Christmas, beyond the glitter and the ridiculous things that are said, and beyond the fact that Christmas for many people is a time of fun and plenty, but for probably equally as many and more, it is a time of desperation. It's a day of suicides. It's a day of despair. They're homeless. They don't have family. They've got no money. And this is supposed to be a day, ho, 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 a day of peace and joy and goodwill to all. And so it has to be something beyond Christmas, because it is today, it is so phony. I can remember when I was a kid, Christmas was wonderful because there was Father Christmas. And then one day I realized there is no Father Christmas. You know, I actually got 9 years before I realized that. And I look back on that, and that was great. But as I look at it now, in retrospect, I went somewhere beyond Christmas, even as a kid, because I went somewhere that was never quite delivered in Christmas stockings. It was never delivered in presents. It was delivered in a sense of excitement about what it could mean potentially. And I wasn't wrapped up in the Christ story. It just seemed that there was some potential beyond that. Even when I was 9 years old, when I finally realized there was no Father Christmas, boy, was that a letdown. And you know, for so many, Christmas is a letdown. Doesn't matter whether you're 9 or 90, it can be a big letdown. But I realized and felt, I say realized, I felt there was something beyond all the hype, something beyond everything that was projected out there, but I didn't know what it was. And in recent years, I sort of looked at it and thought, why do we have one day of the year that is purported to be peace and goodwill and happy days and jolly people? Why, and the rest of the 364 days, war, fighting, swearing, hating? Why not have 364 days of the year where we're all loving each other and at peace, and then one day of the year when we've got something to grumble about, then let's have one day grumble day instead of Christmas Day, a grumble day where we can all have a good old grumble to each other and then go back to peace and joy and happiness, having got rid of the grumbles. Now that would be beyond Christmas. That would take it to a whole new level. This might sound funny, but I'm quite serious. Christmas to me, beyond
he's great. He's written many books, and I don't know whether he's going to be doing any more workshops for a while. But yeah, I just thought to mention him. I've known him for what is it? A few decades. 1984, I think I first met him in Bellingen, and his son Duncan Rhodes runs Nexus magazine. Nice. And yeah. And I used to go to his place in Bellingen, and his wife at that time would make me eggs and poached eggs, and did it perfectly. And Michael and I would walk along the river and have great big long raves. But I mention that because we've got our next Beyond Christmas show coming up, and that's what I was starting to talk about. The inspiration that's coming is to do one on religion, spirituality, and other dimensions. And I won't say who's coming yet because they're not confirmed, but it's going to be a very interesting kind of panel discussion. It may only be the panel discussion. Previous years, we've done like big shows. The first one was 8 hours. I'm not doing that again. The second one was 3 or 4 hours, and even that was a bit of a stretch. And I think probably 2 to 3 hours maximum this time. People don't want to spend all that long. But look, I think now we can wrap it up, and thank you yet again. And I'm really looking forward to getting us rolling into the shows.
Me too. I'm really excited to get started and get things going, and looking forward to the Patreon launch as well.
Yeah, and thank you for the Harmony Festival people too.
Yes.
And so apparently the virtual store is online all year, so you can check out that. And I will put the link in the YouTube chat as well as going on Facebook. Our group is facebook.com/beyondbeinghuman. That's the public announcement area. And I just post whenever we publish something or something's coming up. We also have another private group, and you can message me through Facebook there. And my name's Michael Eagle Spirit. My company name is Eagle Spirit Media, video production. And what else can I tell you? We've got a not very active, but a little bit active Instagram account as well, which is instagram.com/beyondbeinghumanmedia. And yeah. And you? What have you got?
What have I got?
What do you got?
I'm on all of those things. So I'm most active, I would say, on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also find us on TikTok and Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitch. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, so we're on all of those, and we shoot all of our, we stream all of our videos there. So we do Twillow Talk, which is my weekly show with my co-host Jennifer Jakowski, and we have a plethora of guests on there as well. I also do readings with Michelle Marie of Astrological Tarot on Wednesdays on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of those. And every second week I do one with Ramsey Cheedy, who is a talented medium, and we have discussion. It's called Open Mic, and that's on all of those channels as well. And then
Cool.
once a month, I do other stuff,
Yeah.
different ones.
I forgot to mention Beyond Being Human at youtube.com/at Beyond Being Human.
Yeah.
And that's where most of the free public videos go. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Check out all the channels, guys. Come and see us. Check it out. And don't forget to subscribe, okay? And like the videos, because that's how we can continue to do stuff. And
That's
we want
right.
to continue to bring you great content and lots of love. And so we're looking forward.
We can do that.
Mine doesn't do it, but I like yours.
Oh, what?
Look,
Well, I'll do it again, just for you.
lots of love from both of us.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Too, isn't there?
Yep.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.